Rick made a paper football that was 1 1/6 inches long. Carly made one 5/6 of an inch long. How much longer was Rick's paper football than Carly's? That means we have to subtract 5/6 from 1 1/6. Step 1. Show your work. So you would do 1 1/6, then put 5/6 under it.
Don't worry, that's just telling you what that's just the top.
Step 2. See if you can subtract the fractions. In this case, you can't. Step 3. You steal from the whole number.
How you do step 3 is you cross out the 1. The 1 will turn into the 0. Since the 1 is a whole number, you'll add 6 because 6 is the only denominator on the page. That will equal 7/6. Then soon you have to subtract 7/6 by 5/6. That equals 2/6. Then you have to reduce it. Then you reduce it to 1/3. And you have your answer. So the answer is C, 2/3 of an inch.
Question number 3. What is 4 1/6 plus 3 1/5? This one is a little different because they don't have a common denominator. So you have to find their LCM, or least common denominator, which is 30. So you get 30 when you multiply 6 by 5. So you have to also multiply 1 by 5. And you get 5/30ths. Then to get 5 to 30, you multiply it by 6. And you also have to multiply 1 by 6. Because whatever you have to do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. And you get 6/30ths. Now that they share a common denominator, you add the fraction. And that equals 11/30ths. You would have to simplify, but you can't in this case because 11 is a prime number. The next thing you do is add the whole numbers. The whole numbers in this problem is 4 and 3. So you add 4 and 3, which is 7. And you have your answer. So your answer is D.
In music, a 16th note often receives 1/4 of a beat, and an 8th note often receives 1/2 of a beat. How much of a beat would a 16th note and an 8th note receive together?
What you do here is you find the least common denominator because they don't have a common denominator. In this problem, the least common denominator is 4. So if you change the 2 into a 4, you will also have to change a 1 into a 2 because 1 times 2 equals 2 and 2 times 2 equals 4. So since you have your 2/4, you add that to 1/4. In this case, it is 4 plus 3 equals 7. So, and when you add that up, you get 3/4.
Whoa. Your answer is A.
Mrs. June said that 4/12 of the test items are multiple choice, 5/12 are short answer, and the rest are matching. What fraction of the items are either multiple choice or short answer?
In this problem, you have to add 4/12 plus 5/12. But in this case, you don't need to do anything with the denominators. You just go right ahead and add 4 plus 5. That equals 9/12. Then you have to reduce because the 9 and 12 have a common multiple, and that will equal 3/4. So then your answer would be D.
Terry and her friends bought a submarine sandwich that was 28 inches or 7/9 yards long. They ate 24 inches or 2/3 of a yard. What part of a yard was left?
So in this problem, you have to subtract 7/9 from 2/3. You would change the 3 to a 9 because 3 is divisible by 9. So then that will be 9. Then 7/9 minus 2/9. You could do that. So that equals 5/9. So the answer is B.
Marie needs 2 1/4 yards of fabric. She already has 1 3/8 yards. How many yards of fabric does she need? Your problem is 2 1/4 minus 1 3/8. So the first thing you need to do is find a common denominator because 4 and 8 isn't the same. The common denominator in this problem is 8 because 4 times 2 equals 8, and 8 can't go lower than itself. So when you multiply 1/4 by 2, you should get 8, 2/8 minus 3/8, and you can't do 2/8 minus 3/8 because 2 is lower than 3. So you have to steal from the whole number, make that a 1. Then you add that to 8/8 because 8 is a denominator. And you should get 10/8 minus 3/8. You should get 7/8. And you would subtract the whole number, but in this case, it's the whole number. 1 minus 1 is 0. So you don't put anything with the fraction. And your final answer should be 7/8.
So the answer is B, 7/8 of a yard. This has been an Akshay and Drew Productions.